Guys, it's Tech Gamer here, and today I'm going to show you a few cheap options for a nice and cool phone with dual cam, and maybe not dual cam, but high resolution photos. The OnePlus 5T was released in the year 2017, around the beginning. And most of people don't like it because they think it's a copy of the iPhone 7 Plus or maybe of the iPhone 8 Plus. But personally, I think there are a lot of differences. The first and most noticeable difference is that the OnePlus 5 has a headphone jack, which makes it better if you want to listen to your music and charge at the same time. Another benefit it has is that the photos are taken with have more lighting and have better HDR, which means more color is seen when the photo is taken. This may result a good subject to people who don't want to waste money on professional cameras, but at the same time want to have a phone. The cost of the OnePlus 5 is currently at the stage of around beginning December, around $480 or 460 euros or pounds or whatever your method of paying is, and it is a very nice phone. The only downgrade it has compared to an iPhone 7 Plus or iPhone 8 is that the chip the OnePlus 5 has is not as powerful in gaming as the one in the iPhone 7 Plus or iPhone 8 Plus. So if you want to use it in some kind of game, it's not going to be very good if you compete against other people which have an iPhone 7 Plus or iPhone 8 Plus, which will rarely be. Very alike to the OnePlus 5 is the Asus Zenfone 4 Max Pro. This phone has dual camera and comes in three colors: rose gold, gold, and black. Well, that's at least the colors that I call them. And each of them has 3 gigabytes of RAM and come with 32 gigabytes of space and for data storage and all that. It is not very costly, coming at 300 euros, which is a pretty nice deal, and not costing too much or too little. Another good thing about this phone is that it has a Touch ID button, same like the OnePlus 5, and a headphone jack. It has also speakers on the bottom, full on the bottom row, and the headphone jack on the top, as you can see over here. The good thing about this phone, which stands out a lot, is that it charges very quick. I personally have one of these and seen them, and from personal experience has a very fast charging rate, and the battery power can last up to 3 days if not playing any games or doing anything which will ruin the memory or which will tear them apart its battery life. Like the OnePlus 5, it's not very good at gaming because the chip is not meant for it, unlike the iPhone 7 Plus or iPhone 8 Plus. But unlike them, this one doesn't cost a lot and is cheaper. The Samsung J5 2017 is a very nice phone. Unlike the Asus Zenfone 4 Max Pro and the OnePlus 5, it only has one camera, but it's not a bad camera. It has a fingerprint sensor on the home button, like many of the phones, and has a 7 megapixel front camera. It comes in 4 colors, in blue, gold, black, and pink, which is not shown in this photo. Here, and pink. Here you can see the blue model, and the only thing this phone is exclusive to, unlike any of the other phones, is the selfie enhancement, is the enhancement to your face while taking a selfie. This is only exclusive to Samsung phones, and iPhones don't have this, and which is a bit like catfishing, but it's not our fault. and also you can edit it from very quickly instead of having to use Photoshop to enhance your face. You do it directly from the cam. And yeah, but this phone's chip is better than the OnePlus 5T and the Asus Zenfone 4 Max Pro because this is iPhone's competition. So they also want to make sure that the games are played at good FPS and are not bad. The Huawei P10 is a nice smartphone which has dual cameras at the back to take nice crispy photos. But the problem with the phone is that the dual cameras are not expressed in a nice way on the back of the phone. It has a fingerprint sensor on the front face where it has one camera for selfies like every other phone. But with the iPhone X and some reveals about the Samsung X, there are rumors that there are going to be two front cameras. Let's stop talking about that. And it comes in four colors: white, black, blue, and green. And with the P10, there's also the P10 Plus, which is more pricey, going over the 500 limit. But this phone, the Huawei P10, doesn't cost any more than $330 or pounds or euros, maybe if you are living in Europe. So yeah. Its sensor is also no. Its chip is not also very good for gaming, like previously announced. But it's better than the OnePlus 5 gaming chip. Well, not game than the OnePlus 5 chip, and way better than the Asus Zenfone 4 Max Pro chip. I right now have a